Hey everyone, it's Rob with another update for today. This is a late night update, but I wanted to get some content out. It's taking a little bit longer to get to this than I anticipated, which has been the theme for the day. As you guys know, what happened last night, this morning, this afternoon, came out at mid-afternoon, late afternoon, and that's supposed to be up at 10 a.m. in the morning. So it's just been a weird day, just the way things were shaped up. Had a lot going on last night. I was trying to get, as I kind of noted in both the YouTube video and by teasing it last night, I wanted to get out that Knicks take by Johnny Jobu and Andrew Sindel, their delirium over the Knicks victory, and how that went with no OG, Embiid kind of back, and he was out there, but just a long day. Tonight it wasn't like I was slogging over anything. I had to be out. I wanted to be out. I wanted to support a friend, and I had to get out there. And I had some other stuff I wanted to do. So it just had some stuff come up, and some things I had to do. But we'll talk a little bit about hockey down the line. We'll discuss the Carolina Hurricanes, as you would expect on a night like this. And I do want to get a little bit of a deeper dive. I don't know if it's a deep dive, but a little bit more detail into the Hurricanes, and specifically the hockey playoffs, the NHL playoffs, or the Stanley Cup, or the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sorry, I'm doubling over on words, but let's start off on the hardwood. That sounds familiar. But so tonight, Lakers, Thunder, and this game. I'm sorry, it's late. I don't know, but Lakers Thunder night, and this game was it's not a fun one for the Lakers fans. The Thunder, as expected, blew them out again. This was another situation, another one of these games in this series. The Thunder kind of allowed the Lakers to hang around. Obviously, the Lakers were leading at half by 2, but Thunder, they're amazing. They're favorite in the West with the Spurs. They're the favorite in the West, but the Spurs are right up there. Johnny Jobu, I mentioned this. Spurs scare him this year. I'm sure scare him down the line with Victor Wembanyama, but I think we should be scared of the Thunder too. I don't know, just my thoughts. But tonight, Lakers lose to the Thunder. Laugh or final score unimportant because of how bad the Lakers lost. It was, I don't know if it was so bad that he said this, maybe he just said this because it's true. But, after the game tonight, J.J. Redick, head coach of the Lakers, said, Thunder are an incredible basketball team. I think we all know that. I'm pretty sure we all know that. They just won the finals last year, and they're just as good this year. A.J. Mitchell leading the team in scoring tonight. Surprising. SGA. Didn't have an SGA game. A.J. Mitchell. He's playing because, Jalen Williams is out. Starting because Jalen Williams is out. Not playing, but starting because Jalen Williams is out. So, weird, crazy guy to have you lead your team in scoring. Just what the Thunder are. They're 8-9 deep. They just play at all. They're 12 deep, I'm sure. We just don't know them. They've played, but, so the guy in the Oklahoma City Thunder is probably going to be a star either on the Thunder or somewhere else if he's treated and nurtured correctly in the next 2-3 years. I don't know. But it just seems like, Sam Presti he just does. It's always been true. It's been true. But especially now. It's always been true. But they've created bigger superstars, but they won last year. You can't deny Sam Presti. J.J. Redick, getting back to the Lakers side of this, did say that the Thunder kicked their ass tonight, the Lakers, that is. So these guys know, and LeBron was asked if he was disappointed after the game. He said, I'm not disappointed. He would go on to say, basically, that, the Thunder are, it's going to take a lot to get even one game from these guys, which, Scott had mentioned one of our takes early on in the playoffs. They're going to be our first one regarding these NBA playoffs. So, we'll see if the Lakers can take one. We'll see. You never know. Maybe the Lakers will have the most miraculous. It won't be the most miraculous comeback. Well, given the actual circumstances. We can discuss. Discuss the point. I don't think it'll be the most miraculous comeback, even with the way the teams are constructed, but it'll be a heck of a comeback. But let's get on to the NHL playoffs. Lord Stanley's Cup, Stanley Cup playoffs. We had the Hurricanes on the ice tonight with Philadelphia, the Flyers. Yeah, this one, Carolina was close, I believe 3-2, and Carolina wins. Again, now 8-0 in the playoffs, sweeping these Flyers. And these Hurricanes came into the postseason looking good. They were a good regular season team. They had 150 points. They were the tops in the East. But Buffalo wasn't far behind, just a point. They were 109 points. And right now, Buffalo's in a dogfight with the Canadiens. What's going on? The Hurricanes, obviously the much better team. The playoff record show it. There ain't no. Okay, the Bruins had 100 points. The Canadiens had 106 points. Again, Buffalo had 109 points. Let's talk about the Hurricanes. Carolina had 113 points, I believe. And they have played the Flyers and the Senators. The Senators in the first round had 99 points. The Flyers in this round have 98 points. And I'm just going to double check 150 points for the Carolina Hurricanes in the regular season. I mean, that's far inferior competition. I get they deserve that inferior competition. But that's far inferior competition. And the gap, that's 2 wins over the course of a season. That's not a huge gap. I mean, it's hard to win a game in the NHL. But it's not a large gap. And these playoffs just provided such different kinds of competition for these two teams, the Sabres and the Hurricanes. I'm not saying the Sabres are getting jobbed, but it's just they're playing a harder schedule, which they deserve to play. They're playing a harder bracket, but it's so much different. The Hurricanes, I'm not saying the Hurricanes again. They were a good regular season team. They had 2 great goaltenders. They both were amazing this year. That was fantastic. Brandon Buzzy, 31 wins. Local media basically saying this guy's the team MVP. And the backup, Pyotr Kochetkov, he had a 2.33 goals against average over the regular season. That's fantastic. It's not Igor Shesterkin in his Lord Vezina season, but his Vezina Cups. Vezina Trophy. I am minting them. It's late, guys. It's a Vezina Trophy season, but it's good. That's a really good goals against average. He's not even the guy who's the main goaltender of this team. So they're set in net. They're really good. Sebastian Aho, been fantastic for many years now. He's just a fantastic player. They're good. And I will say, they did enter the Stanley Cup Finals at the end of the regular season with a 16.7% chance of taking Lord Stanley's Cup. They were second on the odds board. I'm sorry, that's your implied probabilities that come from the odds board. I'm citing Vegas, but I believe their numbers are basically. It's just a fascinating discussion. We've discussed gambling. We've discussed in the past, but I appreciate the fact that you can numberify sports with the odds. I'm not saying Vegas odds makers are perfect, but the system is flawed in some ways. Well, the biggest flaw is that there's juice, there's vig, but yeah, basically they're smart people. They're taking all the statistical probabilities, and then maybe they don't understand the personalities. They don't understand this, but they're kind, it's kind of baked in. And then I don't have to get into it. Look it up if you want to, or email me at withsportsrob@yahoo.com. We can discuss it. If you want to discuss it on air, we can do that. If you want to hear me get into it in a short, one of these aren't very short. This is very short. But yeah, if you want to get me to get into it in a video, I will. If you want to discuss it, I'll discuss it off air. I'll make whatever. We'll discuss it. Anyway, end of regular season. Hurricanes. Based on the Vegas odds makers, their implied probability to lift Lord Stanley's Cup is 16.7%. It's pretty good with that many teams left in the playoffs. The Avs are the favorite though. They had a 0.25% chance. They were going to win the Stanley Cup a quarter of the time. And the 25, basically it says you have a 25% chance of winning. Kind of like, 50% chance of winning tomorrow. We know that's crap. I think it's a little bit more accurate. Obviously, meteorologists, accurate enough. They've gotten better. But, I don't know. We can discuss this ad nauseum. But I think this is a pretty good indicator where, at least it's an indicator of where people felt about them. But I think it's an indicator of how good they are. But let's get into this. I'm going to actually kind of counteract that point now. But, currently, now, as of right now, tonight, the Hurricanes, it's may move by the morning. Just crazy thing about it, but we'll discuss that as well. The Hurricanes are 38.5% chance to win the Cup, which, not surprising, you're going to increase your odds after beating a team in the first round. You're decreasing the number of teams, you're moving on, you're getting closer, and the Avs now are 36.4. The Hurricanes are the favorites. The Avs are second favorites. But yeah, they've had the biggest jump over the span of the regular season to now. And I get it. There's another factor in that. They've moved on. To the conference finals. So they've already gotten past that series. So there's a lot goes into it. So, but maybe that's why that is why they're ahead of the Avs. But it's just they I don't know. I don't think the odds. I don't think the implied percentages of where the Hurricanes stand. And I'm not, again, perhaps they are the favorites. Perhaps the Avs win this next series 4-2 or 4-1. Maybe just 4-2. Let's see the Avs move on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Avs become the favorites again. I don't think so. But yeah, I'm not sure the Hurricanes deserve to be the favorites. Maybe they do. All I'm saying is they've been really good over the playoffs. They were an amazing regular season team. Best in the East. You can't deny that. You can't deny the Hurricanes have something special going. They absolutely do. But I just think that really the case is the Hurricanes, and again, this happens all the time, and it's not like they didn't deserve to play weaker competition. It's just the level of competition that has been so much inferior to what the Sabres have faced. Maybe the Sabres don't even get by this round. Maybe the Sabres want to beat the Flyers. I don't know. I think that'd be crazy, but it's possible. But yeah, I don't know. Give me your thoughts with sportsrob@yahoo.com. Again, with sportsrob@yahoo.com. We'll get you what happened last night and about, I'm not going to give you the time. This morning, hopefully by 10, noon at the latest, but sometime this morning. And, I want to get up between 7 and 10. This night's just running long, just random reasons over the past week. It's going to keep going. There's a lot of stuff I have to do. But yeah. And again, I have discussed this on a post on YouTube. I think I've teased this in some of the videos that I put out. But yeah, the Adam Shield podcast, the full podcast, the real podcast episode will be out tomorrow, hopefully by 5. Getting the guests, going to be late. It's the theme of this weekend. We're running behind. But yeah, I should have it out today, Sunday, May 10th. Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I wouldn't be where I am without my mom. Unfortunately, she passed away, but she raised me right. Fantastic mother. Great parents. Can't complain. I had it easy. Great parents. They did everything they could for me. So I'm super appreciative of my mom. To all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. May your husbands, may your kids, may your spouses, significant others, whatever's in your life, may your sons, your daughters, just everyone in your life, may all your friends that know you're a mom, may they celebrate you today. Enjoy the sports, moms who love sports. For the guys, take your wife, or if you're an adult kid, take your mom, or if you're a kid, do something for your mom. Obviously, take your mom to a restaurant or somewhere. If you can, do something for your mom today, or just significant other if she's a parent. Or if your friends or your mom. Show them some love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Probably watching this in the morning. Probably basically get back-to-back things going on in the morning for you guys. But if you're up at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you get this a little bit before what happened last night. So I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more.